Welcome to the Real P&L Trading Show, where I share my real P&L on 4 separate accounts, and I also share my proprietary Safe Wheel strategy for free. I also discover the proven strategies I use for my own investments, now available in my book. See the link in the description there. All right, let's check the audio, make sure that you guys can hear me okay. Give me a little bit of feedback. Also, be sure to post any questions you might have before I end the broadcast. Okay, great. I'm getting some feedback that the audio was good. All right. I'm going to start here with the earnings edge. What happened with the earnings edge? So I'm not in the earnings edge account, am I? Let me get into that one. This is the earnings edge account. Last week, there were no stocks that fit through the filter for the earnings edge. A lot of times when we're kind of not in the meat of the earnings season, sometimes those we don't get stocks that fit through all the filters. And if they don't, I'm not going to just pick a stock to trade, right? I'm going to try to make sure, I want to make sure that the stocks that I pick, are worthy of trading. So there was nothing last week into that one. So what is my net lick? 72.53. I'm going to make sure that the spreadsheet is updated. 72.53. 72.53. And what is SPY trading? SPY at 598.69. Oh, almost exactly what it was last week. 169. Pretty much at break even for the week. You can see how the earnings edge is doing up 45% versus 26% on the S&P since 2022. You see the S&P has done quite well the last 2 years, up 24%, now almost 26% this year so far. So the S&P has been very difficult to outperform over the last 2 years. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go into the PL5 Pro. What's going on with that account? That's going to be the 527. This account here, see my net lick, 452,199. 452,199. 452,199. So you can see that I'm up almost 12%. I started the PL5 Pro in the middle of July. So that tweak was made in July. It took me a few months to kind of tweak the PL5 into the PL5 Pro. And by the time the PL5 Pro was established, it was about July. So I started with this account with about 404,000 with the PL5 Pro since July 19th. Now it's worth 452. I'm up $48,000 since the middle of July. I'm up about 11.96%. Now the S&P since that day is up 9.05%. Now that's a good run for the S&P. That's not easy to outperform there, but still outperforming by a couple percentages. Let's take a look at the PL5 Pro S&P 500 variant. This is the one that's very specific to the S&P 500 and to outperform the S&P 500. All right, so let's look at what's going on with that particular account. Let me bring that account over and grab it here. Okay, I'm going to kind of share a part of my screen because for some reason I can't find a screen that won't share the account number. Or if I take out the account number, it won't show the amount in the account. So 32,614 is how much is in my Interactive Brokers. All right. Or I can give you this look, right? But it doesn't show you anything. So let me go back. So the account value is 32,614. Let's put that in the spreadsheet, 32,614. So not much different than it was last week. You can see it's up 8.71%. I started this account on July 16th, again, middle of July, because it's the PL5 Pro, and it's the S&P 500 variant. Middle of July with $30,000, I'm about $2,600, 2614, up 8.71%. And the S&P 500 since that day is up 6.29%. So you can see if you started on July 19th, you're up 9% with the S&P, but if you started on July 16th, you're only up 6.29% with the S&P 500. But up 8.71 versus 6.29, the S&P PL5 Pro S&P variant is outperforming as I would expect it to do. The Premier Level 5 Pro isn't always going to outperform, especially in bull markets. But overall, over time, when you start running through different markets and you hit those 4 different market types, you get the crash, you get the grind down, you get the sideways, you start adding all those market types in, and the PL5 Pro without the variant should outperform pretty easily based on back tests and forward tests. Okay. So now let's talk about the safe wheel. Talk about the safe wheel here. Let's get into that account. It's this one here. No, it is this one here. Okay, on the safe wheel, my account is at 54.59. That is the balance, 54.59. So down last week, down about 15%. That is definitely the largest drawdown that I've ever seen with the safe wheel. 15%, the market's up 26, so definitely getting outperformed there. But the drawdowns are about half of the S&P 500, so the risk is lower, but you're still going to have times where you're going to underperform, and that's happening right now. You can see that I'm up 9% since 2022. The S&P's up 26%. So underperforming here with the safe wheel for sure. The last 2-3 stocks that I picked have all been kind of losers here. Pins down 676. So you see that I've, not just like a major loss or anything, but down some. And let's take a look at Pins. What happened last week with Pins? Well, I was long 200 shares, and I did a Blaze of Glory trade, which means that I sold premium underneath my cost basis, and just to get as much premium as I could. Then I got called away from my shares. Also on that Friday, knowing that I was going to get called away from those shares, I sold my put hedges, my put hedge and my hedge. Actually, my $5 hedge came off. It didn't go into the money, so it just went off without having to do anything to it. And then my put hedge, I sold it because I didn't want to hold it over the weekend because I was not protecting anything. So now I have nothing. Now I could go right back into Pins, but I'm not, because of the tax rule, the wash rule, that if I go into Pins, if I buy the stock within 30 days from now, I will not be able to take my losses on my taxes. So I'm not going to go back into Pins. Otherwise, I probably would just go right back in. But the loss that I took, which is not major, I want to be able to write that off of my taxes. So I'm not going to go back into Pins for at least 30 days. So I looked through my list. Now, maybe you guys have, does anyone, I want to ask you guys if you have any stocks that you can recommend for the safe wheel. I've got one that I like, but there's one thing I don't like about it so much. So maybe if you guys can come up with, I went through my list. I didn't really see anything better than JD, but maybe there's something that I'm missing, and maybe you guys might come up with one. So do you guys have any stocks that you want to recommend here? So let me look through the chat and see if there's anything in here. Yeah, if you guys let me know. So yeah, we are ditching Pins. Let's go through the chat here to see if you guys come up with anything. I had luck on DJT. Let's look at DJT. DJT. I think that's in my list, right? Yeah, that's my list right here. Let's see what a DJT looks like. See if it has liquidity. I think, is this coming into earnings? No? Okay. Let's see what it looks like on liquidity. Wow, it's got pretty high volatility there. It's right at $30. I do like that. Let's see what the liquidity is. Decent liquidity. Let's take a look at something here. I'm going to look at the price is good, the premium availability is good, the liquidity is good, earnings not coming up. The put hedge, let's take a look at the put hedge possibility for this one. This one's pretty, see, I don't really have anything close to 150 days, so there's not much to choose from on that put hedge. But I might be able to play around with this one. This one's got a lot of volatility. So it could move out of that $20 to $40 range very quickly. But I might play around with this one. Let's see. Yeah, $30. You know, let's go ahead. I'm looking at the. It's got the between $23 and $37. It's got the premium available. Got a 1% here. So can I get 30 cents on this at the near term, at least out of the money? Yeah, for sure. Definitely can get that. Is it liquid enough? Yeah, it's got some decent liquidity. Earnings aren't coming up. The put hedge, I don't want to pay too much for that put hedge. Let's see what that's going to cost. Let's go back here. I'll probably go here to the 116. And what's the 30.55? 30.55 times 0.8. So my strike's going to be about 25. How much is my 25 strike is? Cost down here. Too much money, $5. I don't want to pay over 450. So that right there, kind of overpaying for that put hedge. So I'm going to go back to JD. It was close, but I'm not going to do that one. Okay, so let's take a look at JD. This is the one that I like. Again, I went through the filters just now, and I'm going to choose this stock here. So I'm going to sell an out of the money put. I want to get at least 35 cents. I can get at the $34. I can get 41 to 45 cents here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up JD, and I'm going to sell one put. I'm also going to buy, I'll just sell this put right here. I'm also going to buy a put hedge. Let's see if I can get 43 for the $34 put. And then my put hedge, let's see what I'm going to do with that. It's probably going to fill. Okay, and my put hedge, I'm going to, let's see, 34.33 times 80%. So my strike's going to be around 27.28. Let's see what that one is. At around 150 DTE, 143, strike around 28. Right here, dollar-ish, $1.25, $1.08. I'm going to buy 3 of these. Mid price is 117. So I'll probably get somewhere around 117. I'm going to buy 3 of these. I'll have my put hedge. Okay, that filled. So far I got these 2 filled. Now I want to buy a little $5 guy to protect that put hedge in case something crazy happens in the market, and you know, JD gets a takeover bid or something crazy. I want to be long. I can go here at the 37. I'm going to buy one of these at $6. Just lock that in. One call, so it's expiring at the end of the week on Black Friday. Okay, so there's my position now. On JD, and I may get assigned here at $34, and if I do, I've got a hedge, and if I don't, I'll keep that premium, and you can see the positions there. So there, that is the safe wheel for today. Let's go back to Let's see here if I can find you. I'm going to go back into the let's check the chat, see what's going on with you guys, see if you have any questions or anything moving forward here. All right. Okay, let me refresh this page. I can't get to my comments. Let's see if I can get to my comments. There they go. All right, comments. Some guy said he was first, and then Shovel said he was first. Shovel says, hit that like button. Yes, I'd appreciate that. Notice that I do share my P&L, which I am trying to get people, the other instructors, this industry to do that. And the only way to do that is to get more people onto my live stream or more people onto my channel, so they don't accept the fact that people are selling courses but not sharing their P&L. They need, I mean, I believe they should share their P&L. So hit the like button. That would help out the channel, and it would help other people find me, and therefore it would help this industry and these other guys kind of put some pressure on them to share their P&L without selling these courses, saying that they make a bunch of money. Okay, audio is good. Thanks, Will. And Martin says he's third. All right. You guys tell me the audio is good. Peter. What's up, guys? This audio is good. Okay. Henry. Hi, Carl. Is there some examples of you placing a safe wheel trade? Yeah, I think like every one of my live streams, I am making a trade in the safe wheel. And you can start watching those live streams. Or if you want the fast track to the course, you can just go ahead and go to the link in the description, get the fast track, and you can have the course there. And it has everything in there, including a flow chart of exactly what to do when I do things. Henry, the video content has placeholders and says examples coming soon, but no examples of an actual trade. Okay, let me know, send me a link to that, because I'm not sure what you're referring to, so I can fix it if it's not doing something it's supposed to do. Will says, happy Thanksgiving. Yes, I do say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Also, I do have a Black Friday special. Make sure that you're part of my mailing list. So if you're on if you hit any of the links in the description and fill out anything, you'll be on my mailing list. That'll give you access to my Black Friday special, which I'm going to reveal exactly what it is on Thursday. And the cart's only going to be open for one day. Anyone know if the market is open or closed this Friday? Typically, it's open for about a half a day in the mornings on Friday, Black Friday. Henry, I understand the filters, tranches, and tier structures, but a little hazy on the deltas, calendars, spreads that I should be. So I don't use deltas, okay? I use going out of the money, I use percentages, okay? So I want to be out of the money, but I want to make sure that I'm getting at least 1% of the premium. So if I'm trading a $34 stock, I want to get at least 34 cents, and I want to be out of the money. So if I sell a put or I do a covered call. Now, as far as calendars, I don't deal with calendars here. That would be like a time trade. There's no time trades going on here with the safe wheel. And the spreads, I'm not really doing spreads. I'm doing a put hedge. I'm doing 3 puts further out in time. And I'm doing one call, which is also expires at the end of the week. So it's really down to that. It's really just 3 positions. Will says, I think open. Yeah, open on Friday, just for half a day. So it should open at the regular time, and then it'll close at 3.5 hours early, I believe. Options for the week are at 4 days, right. So everything that I've done here, well, yeah, These options will expire on Friday, but they'll just expire earlier than normal, like 3 hours early, because the market will close 3 hours early. Will says, how's the duck trade performing in this market for the year in backtest or live? The last duck trade I had on, I took profits, and I have another partner that is trading the duck trade live with the students. And he's going to report whenever he hits profit. I hit profit about a month ago, and then I had my partner go ahead and trade that live with the students there. He says that the trade's up, but it hasn't hit profit yet. Now, the time before that, I took a loss. So I'm, the duck trade does take a loss sometimes. So I did take a loss, but now the last trade took a win, and then this next trade coming up is up, but it hasn't taken a win yet. Shovel says the market open Friday for a half day. Yep. Cool Carl has a big Black Friday sale. Yes. And Will says not enough premium on pins. Maybe the shorter trade week or something. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go back into pins because of the tax things. Yeah, we're ditching pins. And then you mentioned DJT, Will, but you see, I didn't like how much it cost for that put hedge. And I'm sure that Rocket Lab would have been extremely expensive on that put hedge too. So, Safe Wheel Rocket Labs, yeah, it's too expensive probably there. ASTSCE, you said ASTS, I'll put that in for future. And you said CELH, I'll add that to the list. JD, I already have, and you. I have you. Okay, so I'll have those in there for the next possible time. So thanks for that. It has wild swings. I'm sure he's referring to Rocket Labs, or also DJT has no earnings. Okay, so that is it a DJT? Is that not a stock? Is it an ETF? Let's take a look. DJT. Is it in here? Oh no, it had some earnings already. Yeah, just doesn't have them coming up. Oh, it's Trump. That's Trump's Media. Okay, so it's a relatively new stock, I think. Some guy said PFE. I didn't have enough premium PFE, and you can see here where you're $26. If you get out of the money, it's not over 26 cents here. So, yeah. Henry says, thanks, Henry. Advertising any Black Friday specials this week? Yes, absolutely. Make sure you're on my mailing list so you can see what it is. And you're talking about pure speculation, probably on the Trump Media or the Rocket Lab. Those are pretty volatile. Supernova, EWQ, France for Dixie weakness until year end. I don't know. EWQ, is that sounds like an ETF. Is it the French ETF? Yeah. See, ETFs I don't like because I want to be able to have earnings. Earnings helps me out quite a bit. And plus, it doesn't even have weeklies. Look at that. So, yeah. Okay. So that would be, so again, don't forget about the Black Friday special. Don't forget to hit the like button. And also remember that if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? All right. I appreciate you guys. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.